Our news nearly a year since its inception. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attacks is going public with its findings. The panel will reportedly reveal those findings in prime time tonight after poring over thousands of records and hours of testimony about what happened that day in hopes of, they say, establishing a clearer picture of former President Trump's role in the attack. Several committee members have accused the president of deliberately working to undermine American democracy while trying to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election.
The idea that all of this was just a rowdy demonstration that spontaneously got a little bit out of control is absurd. You don't almost knock over the U.S. government by accident.
The committee will also reportedly produce taped testimony with Trump administration officials along with family members. Local Congressman Kevin McCarthy is also expected to attack the findings of the committee ahead of that hearing.
And Joe St. George is now on Capitol Hill with a breakdown of what we can expect from the hearing.
Does this wall mean anything to you? Probably not. Why would it? But history certainly remembers this wall. After all, men and women from around the country climbed it so they could try and enter the Capitol and prevent the presidency of Joe Biden. That was back on January 6, 2021. And while you may have moved on from that day, a committee here in Washington hasn't. For the past 10 months, they've been investigating January 6th, and tonight they'll begin to report their findings to the public. So what can you expect in this hearing? By now, the photos and the videos all somewhat look the same, but the committee is promising to release previously unseen material that documents just how terrifying that day was for so many. The previous president of ABC News has been hired to help produce the made-for-television primetime event. As a reminder, that day forced former Vice President Mike Pence to be rushed to a secure location. Speaker Nancy Pelosi was evacuated entirely from the Capitol over safety threats. 4 rioters died in the assault, including Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed by Capitol Police when she attempted to enter a secure area. 5 Capitol Police officers died in the days following, too, either from health complications or suicide. The Justice Department has charged close to 900 Americans so far for being involved in some way with January 6th. The hearing is happening behind these committee room doors, and while it will feature some new information, it will largely be a summary of the investigation so far. New testimony will occur tonight from individuals who will say the riot was not as spontaneous as you may have thought, including testimony from a filmmaker who had been following some rioters for weeks prior to January 6th. The committee will also outline their plan for future public hearings, with a final report expected by the group in September. Remember, though, this committee cannot charge anyone. All they can do is refer individuals to the Justice Department for possible prosecution. The committee has conducted over 1,000 interviews over the course of the last 10 months, including with some members of former President Trump's family. Some of that was videotaped and could be played this evening. Don't forget, though, that many conservatives believe the committee's investigation has become too partisan. There are only 2 Republicans on the committee, and both voted to impeach former President Trump. Republican leader Kevin McCarthy has said the committee is simply going after political foes. Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York has called their work illegitimate, and some conservative media outlets have decided to not broadcast the hearing tonight as a result. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
The hearing is scheduled to air live in an ABC News special from 5 to 7 tonight, so that means no 5 or 6 p.m. newscast. We will have an hour-long 7 p.m. and our 11 p.m. show as well.